Good morning. Thank you for being here. As I've mentioned before in our previous briefing, more than 1 million San Diego County residents rely on federally funded programs to meet basic needs. These programs provide healthcare, housing, food, and jobs, and they are important not only to the livelihoods of San Diegans, but are essential to health, safety, and security. Unfortunately, the proposed budget cuts by the Trump administration, supported by congressional Republicans, would slash these programs and threaten the stability of our region. If the proposed budget cuts go forward, it would mean 98,000 seniors and 130,000 children could lose access to meals. Cuts of this magnitude will have real and devastating consequences for residents across our county. More than 1 million San Diego County residents are in imminent danger of losing healthcare, food, and housing. So that's why I'm calling on the county to develop a notification strategy to send a notice of funding at risk to all federally funded program beneficiaries. 1.2 million people in San Diego County receive support from at least one federally funded assistance program. 50,000 San Diegans currently receive job training. 400,000 San Diegans receive food assistance. And most importantly, nearly 900,000 people in our county rely on health insurance through Medi-Cal. The U.S. House budget proposal includes a 15% cut to housing assistance, jeopardizing housing security for nearly 10,000 households in San Diego. Federal food assistance programs have also been targeted, with the House Budget Committee proposing 20% cuts that could leave 400,000 families in San Diego struggling to afford groceries. And proposed cuts to healthcare funding, particularly Medi-Cal, will dramatically reduce access to mental health care, substance use disorder treatment, and preventative medical services for nearly 900,000 individuals across San Diego County. This will particularly target our homeless population here in our region. As San Diegans, our lives are interconnected, and reductions in any of these critical services will impact all of us. If these services are no longer being provided, then San Diegans must be informed. It is crucial that all federally funded programs It is crucial that all federally funded program beneficiaries be notified about impending funding cuts and potential service reductions before they occur, so they can plan accordingly. When water or electricity is being turned off at a residence or a business, utility companies provide several rounds of notices to their customers in advance. When your child's daycare center is unable to provide regular services, parents are provided with a notification. When a neighborhood restaurant closes for a night, people with reservations are called to let them know. This is how service disruptions should be handled for everyday situations and emergencies alike. Impacted people must be notified by service providers ahead of time. Our government must also inform its constituencies. While the scale of these proposed cuts to services may be unprecedented, our government's responsibility is obvious. So at tomorrow's Board of Supervisors meeting, I will be calling upon the Chief Administration Officer to develop a notification strategy to send a notice of funding at risk to all federally funded program beneficiaries. The notice should be clear, concise, and delivered in a timely manner to give families federal contact information to whom they should direct questions and concerns about proposed federal funding cuts. Specifically, individuals with questions or concerns about proposed federal funding cuts should contact the Department of Government Efficiency at DOGE, where these orders to slash government services are emanating. They can also call the White House information line. The notice will be distributed through multiple communication channels, including mail and email. We must act now to give individuals and families as much time as possible to make alternative arrangements. Many of the federally funded programs at risk serve populations that already face systemic barriers to stability, healthcare, and housing, which is why it is even more imperative that we communicate swiftly. So more than 1 in 3 people living in our county rely on federally funded programs to meet basic needs. Healthcare, housing, food security, and jobs programs are all at imminent risk of termination by the Trump administration's budget cut proposals. I'm calling for common sense communication protocols from the county to the individuals that receive program benefits so that they can be notified in a time-sensitive manner. The county must act and inform our 1.2 million recipients in our area that their programs are at risk of termination, specifically and particularly those individuals on Medicaid whose health care is at risk. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for any questions you might have.